Good to see you.
Alright there, Revenants, welcome back to Code Vein in the Road to 100, where today we're in the City of the Falling Flame, and the power of this build is going to be none other than just the fact that we are in the City of the Falling Flame. So basically any build that you can come up with almost that runs here in the City of the Falling Flame is like completely overpowered. So today we're going to just run the Sunset Greatsword, which is kind of weird that the Sunset Hammer has blood on it, which is great. And then the Sunset Bayonet, where is it? Here, it doesn't have any blood. And then the Sunset Halberd, no blood. And then the Sunset Greatsword, no blood. And then the Sunset Regular Sword, again, no blood on it either. So for whatever reason, they decided that the Sunset Hammer was too powerful in and of its own right. And so they decided to nerf it a little bit by putting blood damage on there. But in some ways, I kind of wish they would have carried that over to all of the Sunset weapons, so we had more blood options in the build sets. But either way, that's completely fine. Now, this is basically a strength-only sword. You can almost disregard the dexterity here by all means. And the problem with it is that it doesn't have a really great strength value. But it does have a very, very cheap requirement in order to get access to this sword, and it does have a pretty decent weight value overall. So the benefit here, what we're going for, is just the fact that we have very high light value mixed with ice, mixed with being in the City of the Falling Flame. So there's really nothing strategic or hidden or crazy here. So it's literally just go and smack everything as hard as you can with what you have, and leave all the chips on the table. So as we go along here, you'll notice that we will be using precision along the way. Whoops. And it is absolutely hilarious how much damage overall we can actually get out with such a weapon as this. So there was like 7,000 just like that in 2 strikes, which is absolutely crazy. That we have that ability to do that, and when we continue along here, you'll notice that we won't really seriously have ichor concerns overall, and that's just because of the fact that we are going to be, getting backstabs and everything along the way, and we will be completely ruining everybody here along the way. Okay, and oh, Jack is taking care of business there, which is really, really great. Now, when we are fully buffed here with cleansing, or with flame protection and what is this, elemental wall, we are up to 185 ice defense here, or fire defense. So absolutely crazy in how we are able to, get up and be fully invincible here. Okay, and you can see that we just really don't have any worries or anything of the sort as we run through here, because Bridge to Glory is bringing us up over the 2,000 mark, which then we have 40% increase to our Pheon Chrome and our ability here to run Frost Weapon, which is really great that we have that ability, that we can do those things. So let's get some ichor here, let's get some backstabs, some slaps, and we will be doing very well. Okay, let's back up here for a second. Okay, Jack, you go ahead and handle it. Now, the only reason we bring Jack along is because of his 50 stamina that he gives us from morale boost, and that is nothing to overlook as we go along here, and paired up with tirelessness, it makes for a really great way to go about, getting stamina back and having, copious amounts of stamina overall. Okay. And you can see that the Sunset Greatsword, because it is Crush, so we are doing Crush Ice along the way here, it does very well, specifically built to play into the weakness of all the enemies that you're going to be running into, and because it does have a pretty generous damage value for the amount of for whatever blood code you're going to be on, it does very well overall. It's not like, once you get it, the game just falls into your favor. But overall, as a pretty cheap, inexpensive, regularly found weapon, it does do very, very, very well. Okay, let's just go ahead and slap this guy a lot. Okay. Okay. Oh, we got a backstab. Look at that. How nice. Okay. And we'll go for a charge attack here just for very nice damage. And the cool thing about it is that the charge attack does not cost any I-core or anything. So that is very, very nice that you can do that charge attack over and over and over. And you get the double hit there. Now he does take, you know, damage reduction on each one of those swings according to his defenses and his weaknesses and his strengths and everything. But that's completely fine. Okay, so, but the nice thing is with precision and frost weapon and all of this here, we just completely, you know, wreck everything basically, because they stagger much more. They all have the weakness to ice and everything, and you can see that we really aren't too worried about stamina along the way here, because tirelessness and having Jack active with his morale boost along the way, we typically have full bars or otherwise of stamina along the way. And Queen's Breath is a kind of middle of the road-ish kind of mediocre blood code for having access to stamina values. Oh, whoops. And you can see that even though we are out of stamina here, we really don't have too much to worry about overall. And Jack keeps giving us his morale boost, which is excellent. And as, oh, whoops, I was going to say, as the ball comes around the corner here, we should be fine to dominate these balls. And I just kind of realized, anyways, whoops, okay, he's going for Jack. They're all going for Jack for some reason. Okay. Now the cool thing is that because we are doing Ice Crush, we are absolutely able to destroy those very, very fast and easily. And again, the power of this build set here is not from the fact of, you know, any kind of craziness or excellence or anything like that we're doing. It's literally just because of the fact that we are here in the City of the Falling Flame. Now we do have the very nice diving attack on our weapon strike on the alternate light attack, which is very, very, very nice because you do have a significantly increased potential to knock enemies down, which is very, very nice. Okay, as we get into the next Wanderer here, we should be okay. Or Blazing Heretic. He's not a Wanderer. Blazing Heretic, that's his name. I forgot that for a second. I was like, what is his name? I had to think. Okay, let's go for a fireproof tonic here, because that gives us up to 200 flame resistance, 205 specifically. So we are able to continually wall up this guy very, very hard, and we can get some launch attacks here, get some I-core back and everything, because we are going to have to, you know, take this boy down. And you can see that as we lose elemental wall there, we are not able to do anything. Okay, let's head over here and hit this ball. Okay. Good. And we'll just take that out. Okay, so again, it's a pretty powerful build overall, because 1 or 2 or 3 hits and basically everything disintegrates right in front of us. Oh, whoops. Oops. Okay, we totally misclicked the buttons there. I was hoping to launch that guy overall. And you can see that even though we did take a little bit of damage here along the way, it really doesn't matter at all, because we were, you know, completely, mostly invincible for the majority of the fights, for the majority of the time and everything. And we really weren't hurting for any kind of ability here along the way. Okay, let's get a backstab to start, and then we'll go into a tormenting blast, and then probably, okay, I was gonna say maybe a charge attack for good measure. Okay, and then here we can get the drop on these guys, literally. Okay. This guy is not a concern, and this guy very much is a concern, and this guy we can just knock him down, and then as we get into the the hunter in black here, we should be completely fine, even though we don't need fire defense or anything like that. We will go for precision. And you can see that this turns into not very fair of a fight there for him overall, just because of precision doing exceptional work when paired with a very heavy weapon such as the Sunset Greatsword. So very, 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 very good overall. And that is where, you know, the Emily fight here will come in super handy. Will just be the fact that we're going to be able to stagger her quite a bit throughout the fight. And let's go for a fireproof tonic. Okay, and now elemental wall, and let's get into the fight. Okay, so since we have ice crush, Emily should do very, very well for us overall, and nothing too crazy and out of the ordinary here. It's just whether or not she's going to stand still enough for us to actually get the damage that we need. Okay, and let's go for a charge attack here. Never mind. I was just kidding about that. Okay, now charge attack. You can see that we can kind of chunk out her health bar pretty easily there overall. Okay. And there's nothing really too incredible that happens here. Okay. And there's nothing too amazing about the fight overall. It's just the fact that, you know, he absolutely cannot handle this amount of damage out all at once, just because of the fact that, you know, everything comes out so powerful. Okay, so we'll let her figure out what she's doing. Alright. And there goes Emily. So, pay your respects in the chat, or in the description, or sorry, in the comments, and say goodbye to Emily. So there really is no secret sauce in this build. It's just the fact that nothing really comes from the build specifically. It's just because of the fact of where we are, what place we're in, and the enemies and their damage and weaknesses. And so all of those things kind of play together to make a build that would otherwise normally in most everywhere else in the game would be like really, really poor, and I wouldn't recommend it in any way, shape, or form. And this would do absolutely horribly like in the cathedral or in the first area of the game fighting Oliver, things like that. This would be like one of the worst builds you could possibly go for. But here in the City of the Falling Flame, it absolutely dominates in superior form, and every enemy just completely gets decimated right in front of you. So if you're looking for a build for the City of the Falling Flame, you can absolutely build this, and you can almost build this on your first playthrough, almost, not quite. You can't have Tirelessness, you don't get Avarice till later. Cleansing Light, you might have it, depends how hardcore you farm for it, and Elemental Wall, you can get this as well, but it's you don't have Bridge to Glory here at this point, so kind of rough. But in a second playthrough, you can absolutely dominate with this kind of a setup. So a bit of a shorter one today overall, but you know, there are a couple other things that I wanted to do, and so I've got to go and get those, even though they are retroactively up on the channel already. So anyways, either way, I know it's a little bit confusing and whatever, but just a little bit of fun here in the City of the Falling Flame, and running pretty crazy damage here overall. And again, you have about 2,500 damage or so out on the Sunset Greatsword here because of Swift Destruction, Frost Weapon, and Bridge to Glory. You have about 2,600 damage that you have access to, and then when you pair that with Tormenting Blast or the running attack or the charge attack, you get some pretty good damage numbers. Overall, nothing to write home about, but it's very good to high damage overall here as you go along. And if you don't feel like running something like Cleansing Light, you can run for Fatal Surge and just absolutely decimate everything. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and we'll see you in another Code Vein video very soon. So we'll see you then.